Hi, I'm Sean, and you've been following my channel. You've been probably seeing a lot of videos, a lot of activity, a lot of stuff that I've been working on. Kind of want to give an update of stuff I'm working on and what's going on with my EcoDiesel. It's been pretty active this year. I was hoping that it would be pretty quiet from 100,000 miles to 200,000 miles, which that ended up not happening. So a lot of stuff has happened on my truck, and so I've been working on a lot of things to make this truck better. I am pretty much stuck with this truck. I'm not unhappy with it at all. I don't think I've made any bad decisions. A lot of people are kind of confused on what I do and what my angle is, why I make these videos. I don't hate Chrysler. I don't hate FCA. I'm not a fanboy of any particular vehicle brand. I do hate Ford. I do not like Ford. I'll never own a Ford, touch a Ford. But I'm not biased towards anybody else, just Ford. Ford is garbage. So if anybody thinks that my videos are particularly hating on the EcoDiesel and everything I do is negative, it's not meant to be that way. It's what you're watching is a video diary of my experiences, of my ownership, based on my job and my usage. I have a really unique job that pretty much most people have no idea even exists. There are little fleets of people like me every night, whether it's in a pickup truck, a medium-duty truck, or a semi-truck, that leave what are called hub cities, and we branch out all across the neighboring states, and we deliver stuff overnight. It requires that we run weird hours. It requires that we are very mechanically adept and can adapt to field conditions and maintenance requirements for a particular vehicle. I've learned quite a bit on this job. I did quite a bit of work with natural gas engineering. I've designed a couple systems for natural gas vehicles and diesel and gasoline. Did some pretty cool stuff with natural gas, but as you guys know, natural gas is taking a really big nosedive with the prices, with gasoline being so cheap, and so that industry is just, it's in shambles right now. But I like to contribute things that I think will help other owners of vehicle in my area, that may help people make better decisions based on my failures or successes. If you guys see me screwing up, then don't do what I'm doing. Learn from my mistakes. If I post something bad happened, it's not because I'm mad at it or I hate that product or something. It's learn from my mistakes. Use that in consideration for next time when you make a decision. Say, man, that guy paid dearly for doing this, and neglecting it, or using the wrong product or something. A lot of people make a lot of nasty comments about me, and I don't understand why people hate me so bad. I mean, I don't have any particular agenda. There's no hidden agenda. I don't work for Ford or General Motors or Toyota. So, I don't know, I hear the weirdest things about me. I would like to make money on my YouTube channel, but I can't. My creator, or what is it, the thing that makes the money, that account is screwed up, and I'd have to completely change everything and start over to do that. My monetization doesn't work, so I don't make any money on YouTube. I don't really care. And I don't make any money on any kind of products that are shown. I'm not affiliated with any of the products that you guys see that I use or show or demonstrate or anything. I am not affiliated with one company, not even D&J Diesel. I need people to understand that I am a customer. I go to stores and I buy these products out of my own pocket, without donations, without anybody's money. This is my money. This is my time. This is my cameras, my investment. This is my truck. I don't get any sponsorships. Nobody pays me for placements. Nobody, I'm not affiliated with any company, and people seem to think that I represent or I work for or I do stuff for these people, which I don't. I am a customer who goes into a place, whether it's a shop or Walmart or anywhere, and I buy the products that you see. I buy that with my own money that I make at my job that I have right now. I am an owner of a freight transport company, legal DOT owner, and this is what I do. I own a freight company. That's my company. I don't work for anybody else. I'm the owner here. I control everything here in my company, but when I need to take my truck into a diesel shop that specializes in things, then I'm going to take it into somewhere. And if it's somewhere that is saving me money, keeping my truck on the road, which is making me stay in business, providing my service to my customers, then I'm going to share that if I feel that it could benefit other people. I have several people that I do recommend that have either supported me, helped me, or I strongly believe make a good product. D&J Diesel is doing an enormous amount of engineering and development. They've been a very, very good friendship. I don't get any kind of benefits or paid placement or advertising or commissions or royalties or anything from them. I mean, it sucks when my truck breaks down. I got to take it somewhere, and it took some pretty scary stuff happening to me and my truck to find them. And if it didn't happen, I would have never found them. You guys wouldn't be seeing what you're seeing today. And luckily, they've taken the initiative to help me out. And because they're helping me out, and I feel that they are honestly trying to help other people out, I'm going to show you. I'm going to advertise for them. I'm going to promote them like anybody else would if somebody likes something. And I'm going to show you how it's going. I do respect their privacy, though, and if they want something shown or I feel it's inappropriate at the time, then I'm not going to show it. I'm going to hide it or keep things confidential, because I'm not going to ruin something that a good friendship that I've established with them. I'm not going to mess that up. So, but as things progress, as these guys find new things for me to test out on my truck and build things and design things that are going to help me keep this truck going and keep me in business and keep me operating and save me a hell of a lot of money, I'm all for sharing that with everybody and helping people out. A lot of people see that I advertise Lucas. I use Lucas in everything. I do not make any money from Lucas. I wish I did. It would be pretty cool. But no, I'm not affiliated with Lucas. I do not work for them. I do not own Lucas. I've heard the craziest stuff. any of the products that I use, I'm not affiliated with. So, I have no biased opinion. I'm not partial to anybody. I'm open to pretty much anything. So, on this oil cooler delete system, I'm not going to give the exact details on it, but I do want to talk about it a little bit with that out of the way so people understand where I'm coming from. There has been a lot of problems with and concerns with some specific areas on this EcoDiesel. Now, I bought this truck for $63,500, and I will show anybody, anytime, that piece of paper. If you ever meet me in person, you can ask me how much I paid for it, and I will show you the paperwork. That's how much my truck was. There were only 2 of these trucks in the state of Utah when I bought it. I did not want a black one. I wanted anything other than black or brown. So I had to pay for it. It was expensive. I owe $48,500 right now. Have 176,522 miles on it. I owe a lot of money on this truck. I am buried. I am upside down. Therefore, I cannot afford a $30,000 engine replacement. I cannot afford this stuff. This stuff has to work. This thing needs to, I gotta pay this thing off or make it last where I'm not spending thousands of dollars on it like a Ford Power Stroke. I'd go out of business if this was like a Ford. So, there have been a couple problems, and this company called D&J Diesel in Midvale, Utah, they've been fantastic. They've helped me out with fixing my camshaft problem. I have full confidence in my engine, so much so, and it worked so well that I took my second engine that I bought to them, which is also a 2 of 14 build. Both my engines are 2 of 14 build, and not the truck, but the engine itself was 2 of 14. And I had them perform the same service. At the same time that I started releasing a couple of videos, people started calling them concerned about the oil cooler. They have gone into full development mode with, there are 4 active companies that are all contributing to the product development of what is on my truck currently. There are over 10 separate companies building the components for it, with a team of more than 100 separate engineers and developers who have developed the products to make one product that is on my truck currently. I'm testing out the very first design. It's what you would consider a rough sketch. It's just some rough pieces, not finely tuned. It's not ready for release or anything. Just to get some numbers and some baselines in, and do some hardcore rigorous testing and see what what happens, and then we'll go from there. So it's really cool for me to be able to provide this to people on YouTube. Without YouTube, nobody would even know these guys exist. Nobody would even know what I do, know how my truck's running, the things that I'm doing to it. YouTube has been a fantastic vehicle for sharing things to help other people. There's another guy on the internet called PowerstrokeHelp.com, and that guy he's a wealth of knowledge and kind of my inspiration for freely sharing this stuff. He is a shop owner, I'm not, but he provides so much help for just the normal person, because the Power Stroke is such a piece of crap. People like him are invaluable, and I want to share my experiences and successes and failures with people as well. So this oil cooler, I've had it on all week, and there are mostly benefits with this system. There's only one condition where I'm a unique case, and that I would foresee being a problem. But all of the tests that I've done, oil temperature, the way that it is designed to work in your engine from the original engineers who have developed your engine, your oil system must be the same as the way they designed it. Otherwise, you're going to run into massive problems. When you guys are buying an oil cooler system to modify or fix a problem from an inherent design failure, you need to buy your product from a company who is engineering it for the way that you're going to operate that vehicle. Otherwise, you're going to blow your motor. Oil viscosity, temperatures, thermal breakdown, there are so many things that go into play with the way that your oiling system operates with your vehicle and the way that it operates with all the rest of the subsystems. And everybody uses their trucks different. Everybody's altitudes are different. Everybody's climates are different. Everybody's going to be using different oils. Everybody's going to be towing differently, towing different things. Some people are conservative with their towing. Some people are hot rod NASCAR racers. Some people have monitors. Some people don't. So all these things need to be taken into consideration when you're building an oil system. The system that my truck has specifically, there are a whole bunch of components. It's not very simple. And the kit is pretty extensive. However, the core principle in mind is factory, unmodified vehicles. The core system is to leave everything in stock, leave everything stock original, not have any kind of computer programming or modifications. No need to do that. No need to remove or delete anything off the vehicle. There's going to be a wide range of people who want different needs. There is going to be another company that will have an oil cooler system, and their system is going to be, in my view, more for the people who are into deleting a lot of things and more into high performance, because they're going to be, those are the people who are going to be getting these 40 and 60 and 80 horsepower performance tunes, which you can't tow with. So I'm seeing that as a problem. Right now I'm doing a test with fully loaded 1,000 pounds in the bed, pulling Parleys, fully loaded right now, to test the oil cooler performance and cooling system performance. So right now I've gone through all of the battery of tests that you would need to ensure for a correct operating oil system, which includes pure cold unilateral temperatures throughout the whole entire vehicle. It's cold outside. The biggest test to do is you need to ensure that when you have deleted and separated the oil system from a cooling system, which will thermally manage your oiling system, which is critical for your first startup and through cold weather performance, you need to ensure that your oil system will raise temperature at the exact same rate or very close to your cooling system. That will enable your OBD systems to enter their readiness state and start working. That will allow your oiling system, when it's cold and viscous, to lubricate the upper end of your engine, the underside of your pistons, flow through the entire bearings, through the crankshaft, and lubricate your chain. It's critical. If you have a system that is cooling your oil too quickly, and your coolant system reaches its operating temperature, and your oil system is half that temperature, like let's say it's 130, your oil system's 130 or 110, and your coolant system's 200, you will run into severe hot and cold spots throughout the engine, which you will warp stuff. This is a compacted graphite engine with aluminum heads. You will warp things, have stresses in all kinds of areas, hot and cold spots, massive inefficiency. You'll have sludge, you'll have dry bearings, dry piston skirts, dry camshafts, and you're going to blow your motor. You're going to have serious issues with your motor. This is a very expensive engine you don't want to mess with. Another thing that you need to check for when you're doing an oil system that your system has to have, your system has to heat up really hot, then you need to pull over and you need to let it idle. And that oil temperature cannot get any higher all by itself, which is called thermal runaway. So when you pull over and you're, like, let's say that you just got done pulling or you just went on a regen, your system, your oil cannot continue to rise in temperature. Now the problem is that I see with this is deleting the oil cooler system away from the coolant, separating the two. My truck is not getting warm enough anymore for the electric fan to kick on. I'm pulling Parleys right now and the coolant is 210 degrees, oil temperature is 224, at 37 psi oil pressure, at 2,000 RPM with 1,000 pounds in the bed without a trailer. Transmission temperature is 201. Boost PSI is 14 PSI. EGT is 1136. Fuel rail pressure is 19,000 PSI. So she's running absolutely fantastic. However, the coolant is not getting hot enough for the electric fan to kick on, which it will not turn on until 220 degrees. So what is important with this is if I pull over right now, I need to make sure that this oil temperature does not keep rising because there's no fan, right? If you're stopped and you don't have any airflow and your electric fan isn't on, the system cannot, the oil temperature cannot continue to rise. I've done a whole bunch of tests so far, testing that theory and proving if it's going to or not. It won't even increase 1 degree so far. Another thing that you need to do is after you're doing something like that, you need to pull over and let it idle for a really long time. I let it idle for 4 hours solid last night with the heater on and off. The temperature decreased from 215 oil temperature down to, I took a picture of it and posted it, but it was like 187 oil temperature and the coolant was 197. That is perfect. The temperature did not increase with no cooling fan operating, no airflow going through the radiator. The system still kept itself cool even though it is not thermally managed by the cooling system, the radiator, the water system. So that is fantastic. That's perfect. I drove last night and coming up Parleys, loaded. My water system started out at 204, 206, hovered around 215 to 217 until I hit Lambs Canyon. I was pulling the trailer. I was really heavy, fully loaded last night, and it did not go above 217 until I hit Lambs Canyon, and then about quarter mile, half mile after Lambs Canyon, then the oil temperature, or the water temperature, hit 221, the electric fan came on, and the temperature dropped right down to 217, 215 again, and it would turn on and off. The problem that I had was the oil temperature reached 246 degrees, which is what it was before we did any kind of work to it. So it is operating, towing, just like it was before we touched the factory oil cooler. So I would like that temperature to come down while I'm pulling Parleys. But on a side note, before, the oil temperature and the coolant temperature will not come down for sometimes 20-25 miles after I come off of Parleys. So it won't, my oil temperature could be 230, 240 degrees all the way to Colville, doing 55 miles an hour with my trailer, which is ridiculous. Right now, my oil temperature is 233 degrees pulling from halfway between Lambs Canyon and the summit of Parley's Canyon. I am coming down the backside. I'm coming up to the Jeremy Ranch exit, which is the bottom of the hill, and my oil temperature has already cooled down to 212 and dropping. Coolant temperature is 204. So by separating the two systems, neither one of them are overwhelming each other anymore, and the coolant system is just running steady 206, 204. It's 204 right now. And the oil temperature comes right down. And without it, with it factory original, my oil temperature stays on fire. And now the oil temperature is 206. And what's really cool is the way the system's designed, it is going to stay at your factory, always going to be within your factory designed specifications that the oil manufacturers for the 5-weight-30 oil say that it needs to operate at, and the engine the way it was originally designed at, the original specs. So after I got done with the hill yesterday, which is going to be the same today, oil temperature is 201, 31 psi at 1500 RPM at 60 miles an hour. Fuel pressure is 9.7. So yesterday when I had the trailer, I drove from Jeremy Ranch, which is the bottom of Parley's, all the way through my route. No matter what I was doing, whether I was stopping, whether I was pulling the rest of the hills, which there are 3 sisters, going to Rock Springs, doing all my deliveries, driving around town, coming back in a really strong headwind. I think it was 40 miles an hour headwind, all the way from the west, all the way home. So it was pretty tough on my truck. Put it in cruise control at 60 miles an hour, and I let it go all the way up the hills and everything. My highest coolant temperature was 213 degrees, so my electric fan never, ever, ever turned on. The highest temperature it got was 213, and that was from Jeremy Ranch to the top of Parley's headed home. So my coolant never even got hot enough to turn the fan on again. And no matter what I was doing, it never turned on. So I ran, I think it was 10 or 11 hours, and the coolant fan never turned on. And the coming back home empty, my oil temperature hit 230 degrees, pulling from the backside of Parley's going towards Salt Lake. So that is fantastic. That is well within factory specs. So that was perfect. One thing that I noticed that's different so far is my turbo temperature is a lot lower. My turbo temperature right now is 800 degrees. It was anywhere from 900 to 1100 degrees all night long until I hit the 3 sisters, and then it got up to 1250. But my turbo temperature my EGT is cooler. My coolant temperature, my water cooler coolant temperature is just, I don't know, the thermostat I think was set at 220. Maybe the thermostat is 205 or 206, because my coolant, it's at 204 right now. I literally cannot get it to budge off 204 unless I'm really in it going up a mountain. No matter what I do, even driving around town, it's 204, 206. If I would have done something like this from day one, a lot of things would be different with the wear and tear on my motor. There's a lot of things that I wish I would have done different, like the EGR that's going into the intake manifold, managing these oil temperatures, managing the turbo temperature a lot better. So stay tuned to some of my videos, because as time progresses, as the kit evolves a little bit better, as we kind of fine-tune it, tweak it, they're going to be doing a lot of work to my truck to make it cooler. There's a lot of things that I hope you guys start saving your money for. It's not going to be a lot of money, but there's going to be some really wicked features that are going to come with this. And it's mostly because of what I use the truck for and my requirements. A normal owner, you guys aren't going to need the crazy stuff you guys are going to see that has been added to my truck. But if you guys are a heavy-duty hotshot or a long-haul driver like me, you guys are going to really appreciate all of the stuff, all the engineering that has gone into this so far. Because I got to take into consideration idle time. I have to. When I sleep in this truck, when the road's closed or I'm tired, this truck has to run. And I cannot have the truck overheating or blowing oil cooler lines off because it's too hot, or pushing oil out my seals, or blowing my engine. It's got to work. So what I have is the big Mac Daddy pimp system on here. It's going to be the best of the best of what's available. But everything so far is stock on the truck. Have not removed or modified anything, so shouldn't give you guys any kind of warranty problems, but you know, I can't personally guarantee that. So I have hopefully 2 people on Facebook that have bad oil coolers that I've communicated with that are going to send me their oil coolers. And D&J Diesel has built some plates to pressure test them. We're going to pressure test both sides, the cooling system and the oil side, and we're going to get to the bottom of the oil cooler debacle, because I promise you, you're never going to know from Chrysler. You're never going to get a straight answer. They're never going to tell anybody. And when you guys start getting out of warranty, or one of these guys, he only has 29,000 miles on his EcoDiesel, and they voided his warranty completely, and they will not replace anything or help him with his oil cooler. So I'm going to send him mine with an updated gasket kit that was custom made, and it's literally the strongest, highest grade material that you can get for a gasket. So the guy's going to be pretty lucky. We're going to test and see if it's the gaskets, if it's the oil cooler, for sure, so that if you guys are planning on spending your money on an oil cooler system and modifying all this stuff, that way you guys know for sure, we know for sure, if you're going to be buying a oil cooler kit, if it's going to solve your problem for real. Because there's a lot of other problems and areas on that oil filter housing and the block and everything. There's a lot of areas that could potentially be a problem. And so whatever product that you purchase, we want to make sure that it's working good, because I'm an owner myself, and I did the oil cooler delete, and if it's, with all this work and money and time that was spent on this right now, if it's not really the oil cooler and it's something else that I haven't replaced, mine's going to have the same problem that everybody else's is. So hopefully I get those 2 coolers in, I can test them, post a video on it, and make a better product, and make these EcoDiesels last a long time and get a good name for them. There's only a couple things that are kind of hurting them right now, and I've tried to do my best with helping the EcoDiesel community out. Like my SCR, haven't had a problem with that. That system works perfect. But you got to maintain it. You got to keep it clean. You got to wash that SCR out. You got to wash your def injector out. If you don't do it, it will clog up, and you will get a P2OE code or failed sensors. You got to keep them clean. They don't do it themselves. So, yeah, this video is really long, but this is kind of some topics I wanted to cover, because there's a lot of chaos over me, and I don't understand it. I really don't understand why people wouldn't like me. I mean, I'm a real owner. I spend my own money on this crap, and I have to make this work. And no, I'm not going to buy an EcoBoost, and I'm not going to buy a Cummins. So don't even bring that up, because I will delete those comments. Alright, final update on the oil cooler right now. Coolant temperature is 203, trans is 197, oil temperature is 190, oil pressure is 33 psi, fuel rail pressure is 7,000 psi at 500 EGT, boost pressure of 1. So, $230 miles on the last regen, distance from regen. My regens have increased so far the past 2 nights. I should, with the temperature outside, with being 5 degrees outside, it's 28 right now, but last night it was 4 to 8 degrees all night. I should be regenning every 60 to 80 miles, even on the highway loaded. Interesting. I do want to make another note. My truck has been returned to complete stock original. Very, very important. If anybody's considering buying the kit that I have, it is important that you guys know that the system that is being designed on my truck is being tested on what you guys have right now. My transmission cooler has been hooked back up. My CCV system has been re-hooked up original with the original factory tube. I do not have the CCV filter on there. My 3-way valve is hooked up completely original and working. Diagnostic codes. No diagnostic trouble codes found. Okay, so no check engine lights. Everything that is on my truck needs to be universally the way a normal owner would have their truck, and all of the subsystems are hooked up original the way yours is. That way, if you guys buy a kit, it doesn't have Sean's redneck engineering crap attached to everything. So, just so you guys know, I did put everything back. It did take a little bit of time, but my truck is the way yours is going to be. So, unless you have your emission system deleted and your grill shutters deleted, I don't have that. This system has grill shutters in, and everything is pretty much stock the way it would look under the hood. So, so there you guys go. I hope this update helps you understand a little bit more about who I am, what I'm doing, my angle, and let's hope for the best for 2016, because it looks like there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. So, thanks for staying with me this long. Bye.